Hello folks and welcome back to Parkitect. A couple things before we get rolling here. My last kind of construction did not save, so I tried to recreate it as best as possible, but I did update the station for the coaster so it works better. I also did a couple of other things with the ride beyond what we had before, which we'll go over in a little bit as we build out the building and all of that. So this is probably going to be one of the last areas of the boardwalk area that we're going to be setting up. There are a few other things that we add in, smaller ride stuff, but this is going to be the biggest building in the entire area. And most of it is kind of just a show building to cover up stuff. I probably should have put some rides or something inside the building, but I just didn't. I wanted to just have some big old building kind of just sit there and do its thing. So we'll go in, get all the borders and all of that stuff set up. But the main idea here is that we're trying to make this as quote-unquote realistic as possible while still having fun. So we're spend a lot of time here going through and getting some of the detail work done to make this park kind of, or this part of the park should I say, pop into being. So we'll go over all that, but when I think of boardwalk, I think of a lot of lights and I think of a lot of colors and all of that. And I've tried to do the beachy kind of colors here, but I don't know if I captured that fully or not. I did change the color of that clock, which is new for me. I haven't done that before. And then we'll get the staff room doors kind of covered up there. And we'll start decorating this area with a few other pieces. Nothing wild by any means, like it's pretty standard fare. But I just wanted to kind of make it look somewhat realistic. I was going to try to throw a carousel in there, but that didn't work. So we're going to put a motion simulator in there and have that set up. It's a really easy building to make. And I wanted to make something a little bit bigger, kind of like a, lack of a better term, like a lifeguard tower or something that's going to be larger that overlooks this whole area. The only problem I have with that was the spiral slides right on the other side of this. So it's kind of a similar style thing. And we also have a tower that looks or has a tower of the same style in another part of the park in that. So maybe I repeated myself a little bit here, but I think once we dress it up, it will look a whole lot better and fit the style a whole lot more here. So I'll throw a flag on top and we're going to add some windsocks and stuff. I don't know. It seems like if you go to the beach or the shore, there's going to be a whole bunch of kite shops and things with stuff flying around. So I did want to change the color of those. I was going to have them originally be the same color as the woodwork, but I think this looks better. And we'll have these kind of overlap just a touch. And then we have to figure out what type of awning that will fit here that will look nice, but also kind of fits the theming of the area and also fits the color scheme, which I think it all looks good so far. So we will throw in some plants just to dress that area up a little bit. And it looks all right. We'll add some more sand and all that stuff in there. And we're eventually going to have to add some type of entryway to designate this part of the park. But right now I want to cover up this. And this is a little bit of a change from before where we have this kind of ride set up there. They were much closer before, but now they're not close at all. And we're just going to build some type of building around that. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to really go through and get rid of the tunnel part here, but I did want to do some detail work putting these things in. I think they look nice when you do this. It just I've never really spent the time to go through and do that before because it's very tedious. It takes a long time to do, but I think that will look fine. You can see I put some additional buoys in. I'm just trying to cover up the tunnel part of that because I don't like it all that much. And you can see the layout of the coaster is slightly different. It turns in a little earlier and the back side of the coaster rides along the property line as opposed to after the main drop riding along the property line. I also missed that part, so that's there, and we're going to go in and add some lighting, which I did do on the other building. I didn't capture that because I was rebuilding and then I forgot to hit record. But we're going to add some lighting in here, and we're just going to try to make it look different. So we have our white and our blue, getting that all set. Nothing too big a deal, but I want to make sure that we, again, have color going in here, and then we're going to have color of some type. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with this yet, but we're going to probably have these red lights going all the way up and down. Nothing too big a deal, but I'm hoping that's what we're looking for here when it goes through and does its thing. So I'm happy with that. We're going to throw some lights inside that tunnel. I don't want it in the second tunnel. I kind of wanted you to kind of start seeing daylight as you come out of the tunnel for the lift hill, but you're going in the darkness and you go straight to the brake run essentially. We'll add some of these kind of curly Q lights, which I kind of dig. It makes me want to make like a candy kind of area. Like they look very Willy Wonka kind of style to me. So I think they look kind of neat. So they're going to be popping up in a few places around this park. And then we'll add on some more lighting details. Again, I'm just trying to make this place look like a boardwalk or carnival-y in some way, shape, or form. I think I did a decent job of capturing that, at least trying to put in as many different colors as I could while still keeping it themed and looking decent. And I liked putting these little lights going around the edges of the kind of that light guard or light tower thing. I was going to try to put the pirate ship over there, but it doesn't fit. So we'll put it over here, and that's going to be the bounds of our area. It's also the bounds of the park. As you can see, we're running out of space in that area. So we're going to have some open space, and we'll get all of that in there. But I do want to try to go through and get some vegetation. So I put some tall grass along here, mainly just because like you get that seaweedy kind of dune area where you need the grass to hold the ground back. That's kind of what I was thinking with that. And then we'll add some fencing and all of that fun stuff. We'll outfit this building with some additional lights, and it looks like I need to put some border in there as well that I forgot to do, so I'll have to go back and do that at some point. But we're going to get all of that set in there so that we, again, trying to be consistent. The equal spacing and all that's fine. It's not my favorite. I put a little rock work over on there just to give it something. And then I was looking for like a fireplace or something that we could put in, which is right there, just as a kind of a gathering point for our people. Like if you're on a beach, there'd be that. And I didn't know the buoys emitted their own light, which is awesome. And this place looks killer at night, in my opinion. There's lots of different lights going on, lots of things happening. We did call it Coaster Wave Chaser. We'll set it up so that it can do its thing. And then I was going to play with some spotlights, but I just couldn't find a good spot for them. And there's not a way to really paint them on there really nicely. So was lacking a little bit of light, so we'll put some of these, like, for lack of a better term, Christmas lights going around, just to give that area a little bit more life and make it look a little bit brighter in some of those areas. But I'm not super happy with how dark some of it is when we go through and do all this. The last thing I wanted to do as far as building goes is get some type of restroom and information place set up so that we have the basics there and that we have them known and set for everything. I went with an orange color on these just to kind of be a little different. And that orange color is going to come back somewhat in other places here. So we'll add some other Willy Wonka lights there. I will eventually get rid of that kind of spinning information thing. And then we'll outline the park there with a white fence just to kind of go along with the coaster and hide that fence a little bit. But you can see how dark this kind of is. There are spots of light, but it's also a little darker than I'd like. So we'll have to play with that a little bit more here. But I really dig how that area's come to be. And then we bought out the rest of the land. We had enough space. It was about $25,000 and we had it. So we could spend it on that. So we'll put that in there. I'm not going to put anything else as far as like smoke or anything. It's a bathroom. It doesn't need that stuff. But I do dig just putting this little random brickwork in there. I think it looks nice. And hopefully it will fit for what this park is. So you can see the coaster does its thing, comes out there. And I did get the pathing for the other areas set there as well. And then the last thing I wanted to do is build some type of entrance to kind of signify that you're going onto the boardwalk. I think of like the Santa Monica Pier. They all have like a very defined kind of boardwalky kind of sign. And I wasn't really sure what I wanted for this, but I needed it to be kind of very visually distinctive and different than what we have. So I went with something where we used arches, we used chimney pieces, and we used some borders. And then we're going to actually use text, which I think is actually the first time I've ever done that. And I dig that text in particular. It looks very kind of boardwalky. And then I placed a whale inside of that, and we're going to put water on top, just because it kind of gives you that look of what the shore or the beach would look like as far as that. Then we had a whole bunch of handyman stuck here because a path got removed. So I had to figure out how to do that. That's the worst part of this by far, is I'm really bad at building underground paths. So we're going to hire a few more as well, just to make sure we have all of our stuff. And you can see this area is coming along quite nicely. We are going to figure out what exactly we want to do with some of this other stuff, and we do need to build an entrance to the other side of the boardwalk area, so we'll do that and get all of that placed in like so. and then we'll basically replicate exactly what we had before on the other side. I am missing one of the square cube things coming out of there, but the boardwalk and the rest of it, colors and all that, are the exact same. So then we're just going to go quickly and kind of lay out where we're going next with everything. I don't know what the theme's going to be, but we'll figure that out next time. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.